You are an officer of the law, Wei, same as me.
We are not the same. You understand? We done?
Sleeping Dogs is an open-world game that sets out to bring the long tradition of Hong Kong action movies to gaming. Wei Shen's a cop born in Hong Kong and raised among the Triad who goes undercover in their ranks to take them down. Of course, once he gets in, he finds that things aren't so black and white, and he's got some very conflicted loyalties to deal with. The conflict is played out through a series of Triad and cop missions. You are literally and figuratively playing both sides here. You might fight your way through a nightclub bloodbath and save the lives of Triad friends, just to turn around and bug their businesses right afterward. Cop and Triad experience raise after every mission and allow you to unlock skill upgrades. So even though you're in a high-speed gunfight in a Triad car, you better not hit any city property or hurt any innocent bystanders, or you'll get fewer cop points for the mission. The missions try to be a blend of everything that's awesome about Hong Kong movies. Hand-to-hand combat, intense shooting, free running, and driving combat. And you know what? It does it well. Hand-to-hand combat controls tightly and rivals Arkham City. Basic and advanced striking combos exist, but the real fun is using time counters, grappling, and either breaking limbs, tossing people off of roofs, or using different objects in the environment against them. You can run people into anything, but it's really magical to slam somebody's head into a refrigerator door or impale them on a pallet full of swordfish heads. The driving's great for an open-world game, so much so that the street racing missions are actually enjoyable. During chases, you have full control over the car you're driving, as well as a full range of aiming and shooting abilities. Now, the actual control for these sequences can get a little uncomfortable, but it's put together more than capably. During a chase, you can also leap from your car onto the roof of any other car on the road and hijack it. And when you chain all that stuff together, it makes driving, which is usually my least favorite part of any open-world game, into a whole lot of fun. Shooting has a bit of action movie flair added to it as well. When Wei leaps over cover, you can either go into bullet time for a few seconds and tear through targets, or do a vaulting disarm of an enemy weapon. You can also still pull off some decent kung fu combos when armed. Do well at anything, driving, shooting, fighting, and you fill your face meter, which is a temporary meter that gives Wei extra focus and abilities. Face abilities upgrade just like any other skill, so there is a lot to do here. Alongside the main missions, you'll find all your standard open-world side stuff. While the standard drive someone here, fight off this many guys sort of missions are there and can get a little tedious, there are some nice cop drama twists on some, like some free-running races, karaoke, yes, really, and drug busts that require some camera hacking. You know, hacking, where you guess 4 random numbers until you get them right. Hacking.
Oh yeah, bring it, baby.
You'll also have plenty of opportunity to buy and steal cars and trick out Wei's wardrobe, with certain outfits giving different stat bonuses. Sleeping Dogs doesn't have multiplayer, but as you run through all your missions, you have access to the Social Hub, a place where you can see all your friends' scores on each mission you've completed, along with some other random stuff like who can break the most arms and who can jump a car the farthest. Since all story missions are replayable, things like this can get pretty competitive, and there's a good deal of replay value added.
He ratted out pop star Winston. I know he did.
Oh, you gonna do the what? This motherfucker right here is a snitch.
Story in open-world games is usually where I get bored. I don't like seeing if I can be the toughest thug or most badass mass murderer in a city. Sleeping Dogs is violent, and there's a lot of criminal activity going on, but the angle of playing both sides of the law really makes all the difference. It's Shen's conflict that keeps things grounded and makes you more interested in playing by the rules. The voice acting and scripting is great. The game boasts a list of A-list actors, which we know does not mean a thing, but they turn in some really great performances. Even the little throwaway lines of dialogue are delivered naturally and with care, and the pacing of the story never lags.
I'm already out there on the streets. I hear things like this ketamine racket. I'll see what I can dig up.
Now, that being said, I wish Wei's conflict had been presented a little more in story and gameplay. There are a few cutscenes that show his grip on right and wrong slipping, but it feels like the Triad characters and the Triad side of things were more fleshed out. I would have also really liked to see some missions that had Triad or cop gameplay choices that affect the outcome. United Front did just as great a job with the look and sound of their Hong Kong playground as they did with the story and gameplay. Everything is beautifully detailed, character designs are solid, weather's handled wonderfully, every neighborhood has its own great visual style, and the soundtrack. Man, the soundtrack, not only is Sleeping Dogs just packed with music, the tracks all really convey that action movie vibe. United Front have upped the bar for gameplay in an open world by adding depth to systems like hand-to-hand and vehicle combat. The story's ambitious and tied into gameplay nicely, though I would have enjoyed a little more controllable morality, and while some of the situations fall prey to standard open-world conventions, most of them are thoughtful and original. Sleeping Dogs is wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. One of the best games of the year. You should buy it. So what do you think? Are you picking this one up? Are you playing it already? Let me know what you thought about the review down below. And if you think I am a crazy person, Max Scoville has another review of this exact same game over on a different YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Dtoid. Compare and contrast. Also, over here on Rev3 Games today, Tara Long has reviewed Darksiders 2. Yes, the game based on the popular Twitter hashtag. So be sure to check that out and subscribe to Rev3 Games for all kinds of wonderful gaming things in the future.